Hey, it's me, unapologetically T, and I wanted to do like a update to Mother's Day weekend. I feel like after Mother's Day weekend, like I definitely, I think during Mother's Day weekend, like I took a break from social media. It felt great, and I say that because I'm typically a person who, in the past would take like big breaks from social media. It could be like a year, it could be maybe two, it could be, you see me post something here and there, and maybe I'm just online looking at everybody else or liking what everybody else got going on. But typically, like, I loathe social media. I do think that it's beneficial and that it helps us stay connected to people that we most likely wouldn't have been, able to do on that large of a scale in the past. However, with cell phones, period, people can pick the phone up, call or text no matter where you are. You're not charged for like calling from state to state anymore. So I still feel like, sometimes social media can be useless, or you do that doom scroll, and yeah, I think too we live in facades on social media. So we typically post what's going great in our lives, and that's the etiquette we were taught growing up, to be presenting in a positive way. But like life is suffering sometimes. And I hate to use that word suffering, but sometimes it is, definitely, if you're in different stages of life. um yeah, so I do loathe. um it's a love hate relationship with social media. I find it beneficial as far as connecting with people you don't know or with people you do know. And what I've been doing lately, I've had to have like a social presence that has been different and kind of like toxic to my, I wouldn't say toxic, but I would say it's a shock to my system. If in previous videos you've paid attention, like my personality style is to definitely um, be on the more private side. I just love privacy. But however, I just kept getting this strong urge, keep getting this strong urge, to utilize my voice, to utilize my life experiences, and to utilize what I do know, and to have these videos that shows someone being raw and real, and someone is me being raw. I don't like to use the word real. I would say like authentic, because we all are real. Like, so, but I would say like being authentically myself, which means that I show myself being transparent. And that was hard for me as far as the initial ripping the band-aid off. I have not shared this, but it's been hard for me lately too. I haven't been putting out a lot of content because I have been working with myself and trying to, I don't want to put content out that well, no, this is what I'm gonna say. I have began to start to second guess my content, and I don't want to do that. I want to continue to put these videos out here raw, uncut, off the top of my brain, when things come to me, make these videos and do this thing. And however, I am learning that I start to have second guesses or second thoughts about it the longer I wait to make a video, if I don't post the video right away. So I'm working and navigating those things, because There wasn't an issue in the beginning as much as it's starting to become one now. In the beginning, it was just like, this was a complete no for me. But right now, it's more like, I think it's that self-doubt creeping up. And I'm human, and that's another thing. In my previous videos, I talk about feeling like I'm alone. I've been in solitude for, I would say, most of the month of April and some of the month of May. And one of those things, and I've been mostly in solitude since November. The end of November, beginning of December, I've been mostly in solitude, period, point blank. So I will see and interact with people every once in a while. When I do it, I've been fortunate that it has been people that are positive, and just those experiences doesn't make going and interacting with the world cringe. So and when I say isolated, I do leave the house. So I do go out and leave the house. However, when I think about isolation, I do not have anyone there besides my child that I'm socializing with on a day-to-day basis. And so, and I do have like I've said in other videos, I have a support team. A lot of them are like me, and they work in public service, and they are exhausted by the time they finish with working. Most of them have families, even the ones that don't have a life. And so, you know, my support team is doing an awesome job. I want to say that. Also, I want to say that I feel like God sends me angels. I believe that God works through people, nature. Like, all of this is, like, metaphorically speaking, like, this is his world, and he interacts through all of us. And when I say, like, I felt called to, I feel like that's an interaction through me to do what my purpose is. And my purpose is always, I've known that since I was little, is that I was going to help people. And that's exactly what these videos are for, is in hopes that it finds people genuinely. I hope that this video finds people, all these videos, find the people that it needs to find, and just, you know, do what it needs to do for them, whether it's validation, whether it's you not feeling alone. That is why I started this conversation in the first place. Is I am getting over the mind frame that I am alone. Oh no, that I feel like I'm alone. I might be physically, there's no one consistently there on a day-to-day basis that's helping me out. However, I'm starting to realize I'm not alone. Number one, I'm not alone. I have 3D people that I know has been there for me, and I have people in my life that's been there for years. I find that my support system is not even family. It is, I call it a chosen family. You can call it a soul tribe. You can call it whatever you want to. But that's basically, like, I call them my chosen family because I just did not grow up having close relationships with family. There are a select few that I deem really awesome, and however, we're still not really close. Probably outside of maybe them watching these videos, they probably knew much of nothing about me for real, besides surface level stuff. Because once again, I was kind of private, so there was a lot of assumptions going on about me, and then there was some who could just truly see me for who I was, and I appreciate that. I love my family, the good, the bad, the ugly. They're my family. However, I've stated this in multiple videos. I will not be putting up with toxic shit anymore. So if you my family and you're toxic, I love you from a distance, and I can pray for you. That's it. But I just can't do it anymore. As far as being directly in the in I wouldn't say the eye of the storm, because I think the eye of the storm is the calmest, but I think that's the eye of the hurricane. That's science. I digress. But yeah, so 3D world, I have a support team. I feel like on a spiritual level, I have my ancestors. I feel very connected to them. I feel very connected, first and foremost, to God. And then I also feel like there are angel teams working on my behalf that, that I can't see, So I don't know. I'll get into that's me on my I'm alone, but I'm not feeling lonely anymore. And I just kept getting confirmations of you're alone, but you're not lonely. You are okay. You are safe. You are protected. Things have already been worked out, and prayers have been heard, and I have to just focus on like maintaining that balance in my nervous system. So just to get to, that was like 11 minutes of, I guess, some type of message for someone. But let's see. Mother's Day weekend, I was very like irritable and tired Mother's Day weekend, just to be transparent. Just reflecting and processing, like I had no idea like the absence of Dante would have an effect on my Mother's Day. I in the past never correlated, his role with Mother's Day, but however, for the man to not like holidays, he believed that it was capitalistic. That's the one thing that I loved about him. Like, he was fucking like hood as a bitch, but he was smart. Very educated, like very, very educated. But he believed that like holidays fed into capitalism, which I wholeheartedly agree. They've actually taken, so-called religious holidays and redirected them. Like, that's why you have like the Easter Bunny and you have Santa Claus. Like, it feeds capitalism, and it also incorporates paganism in there, which whoever want to do whatever. Like, if you're a pagan, I don't care. But the truth is the truth, and that's just what it is. So he was just very knowledgeable. Like, he was well rounded. Like, we used to have like, that's how we bonded. We had dope conversations about life and the world and just shit like that. And so I didn't realize like that would be an impact for me on Mother's Day. So I was irritable. I was tired. I just felt drained, and I think I felt my mom and my brother had came down. So like, I think I had finally felt like in this space that I kind of felt safe, like I could go to sleep. Because I didn't have to worry about my daughter. It was like, it's like when I'm in the house and I rest, sometimes it's not always like, that good rest. Sometimes it's just like I'm coming off maybe like a 2 or 3 day binge of no sleep, and I'm going to sleep now, and so that's one thing I'm so thankful and grateful for, is sleep regulation. I don't even care if my sleep regulation is I get 8 hours of sleep during the day, or I get 8 hours of sleep during the night, or I get 8 hours of sleep during the morning. My whole thing is I just want to have a healthy 8 hours of sleep. And it could be, 7, it could be 6. But I'm tired of it being the 3. I'm tired of it being the 2. I'm tired of it being a nap. So, I am grateful for that. But I think like my body, lately, I think since April, my body has just been craving rest. It doesn't feel like depression. It feels like I'm catching up on sleep from years of abuse. It's like the body says, like, we're tired. You can rest now. You're safe now. And then when my mom came, it was like this extra layer of safeness, because it's like, okay, well, Charlotte has some adults in the house, and I could just go upstairs and go to fuck to sleep. And that's what I did. But Charlotte planned earlier that week to go out with her friends, so I was the chaperone for that. My mom did take them, but I ended up getting up and going and sitting and then taking them back home. And what else? Yes, missing of Dante. So Dante used to do very nice things for like Mother's Day. What I really miss most about like him is the flowers. I always attribute this to some woman in his life, because I felt like he started doing it like maybe mid relationship, but like he would give me flowers just because. But he also, like, on holidays, he would give me flowers, or if he knew I like certain sweet treats, he would buy me that. Like, I know his cousin used to make, well, she still does, and she has a very nice business. It's Destiny Cake Pops, and I love her cake pops, her cake jars, everything's just so good. I think if you look her up on Instagram, I don't know if she still lives here, so I don't know if that's even promotion for here, but wherever she lives, her cake pops are great. They are the best. Her cakes, her cake jars, like, she doing her thing. But yeah, he used to get like treats from her. We typically used her anyway, for like the little treats and stuff. So it's just missing that, like, not even just the gifts, like the cards. Like, I couldn't even bear to look at a card during Mother's Day weekend. Like, I know that would have like made me cry. But yeah, so I was dealing with that set of emotions. Like, he's not here anymore to celebrate me, and when he used to celebrate me, and I don't have that no more. I felt that on my birthday too. My best friend was the only person that bought me something on my birthday, and it was sentimental, and I loved it, and that's why I love her. But like, I felt that on my birthday, like he wasn't there to make my birthday great, which he always did. And if anybody knows me, I do not like celebrating my birthday. Typically, if I'm celebrating my birthday, it's because someone is forcing it on me. However, I did say next year I'm throwing myself a party. I think I deserve it and earn it to be celebrated. So definitely, I hope things be in order for me to be able to do that, and the world is not in shambles. But that kind of feels like maybe it'll be a silent party if shit keep going this way. But what else did I do? I mean, I cooked. So I cooked Friday and Saturday. I think my mom cooked either Sunday or Monday. I can't remember. But yeah, Friday and Saturday I cooked, which was awesome because, and that's another thing, like my mom, she lost her daughter, my sister, and we don't show emotions right. And it's kind of like, we don't, but you can't tell people how to grieve or how to feel. But maybe Mother's Day was just like a little different for both of us. However, I can say like my mom isn't used to like my sister doing anything on Mother's Day. I think that's the weird grieving about my sister, is that she dealt with like mental health and drug abuse a lot of her life that I knew her, and so I was kind of used to her being inconsistent as far as being around. So when I have grief cycles with her, it's not that I miss her. I have grief cycles that I wish I had a little more knowledge about what she was going through. I wish I had a talk to her on a deeper level to ask her, why she would do some of the things she would do. However, I was like severely younger than her, so I give myself grace. But and I also like be wishing, like you had a guilt, like I wish I was there for her during those moments, because she had a heart attack and it was not drug related, and it seemed like she had actually like gotten her life together, which made it, that much more sad, but yet peaceful that it happened during a point in her life where she had got it together, because like there was no drug paraphernalia found nowhere. There was no drugs in her system, and that made me proud of her. So loved it, loved that part of it, but still just struggle with like the grief of her. So I don't even know how my mom felt about that. She don't talk about it. So, but she did say that she loved that a meal was cooked for her. My mom has always catered to us as children and adults. She's always cooking. She's always, she was always the one cleaning up behind us. She used to say like, because she cleaned houses for other people when I was really, really young, that she didn't want us to have to clean up. So, that was that. I was solely to focus on education, and that's what I did. As you can see, like that was my path that was instilled in me. And I think even if she hadn't instilled it in me, like at a very, like I think by the age of 4, like I knew like I wanted to go to college. Like I knew what college was. I wanted to go. My mom, once again, still planted those seeds and taught me what I know. So like when people want to attribute that I'm intelligent, my mom was my first teacher. So, and I think she had a relationship with education that was like that because she had got pregnant with my sister when she was young, and she had to drop out of school. And she had to drop out of school. Also, she was so dirt poor back then. Like, she didn't even have the materials for class, for school. It wasn't like public education where the stuff is provided. Like, back then, your parents had to buy you paper and pencils. And she said she used to remember stealing other people's stuff or having to beg people for other stuff. And I think that's why my mom had taught, she didn't even teach this to us like blatantly. Like she taught this to us, like we watched her growing up. We didn't watch her begging nobody for nothing. Like I never seen my mom beg nobody for nothing. If she did it, it wasn't in front of us. If it was a situation that we didn't have, she either made a way by being resourceful, or we went without it and we learned a lesson of how to go without it. And when I say resourceful, so if the lights got cut off, we fucking had candles. We had an oil lamp. I know how to light. I know how to put oil in an oil lamp, and light an oil lamp at a young age. But we did that. So if the water was gonna get cut off, like she would fill the tub up, she would fill the washing machine up, and we also had like this creek, and we would use that water to like flush the toilet. Like, so I think by her growing up with no running water, I don't know if she didn't have electricity. I don't know if it was that far back in time, but I do know it was no running water. She grew up with like a wood oven, which she built one in her house. She added that on to her house. I guess it was nostalgia for her, and it is definitely, I guess, more cost effective too. I don't know though, when you're thinking about buying wood right now. So, but yeah, so like, I don't know, this is a good reflection because I'm reflecting on the strength of my mom even though she's made mistakes in my childhood, like my mom's a very strong woman. I'm pretty sure she made mistakes in all my siblings' lives, as all mothers do. And even though sometimes, like, I feel like the mistakes she's made have been detrimental to my development and growth, I still feel like a lot of things she did right. So I can forgive her and still have a relationship with her. However, a thing that happened on Mother's Day, I didn't even speak to her about it. I didn't even feel comfortable. I didn't even talk about the Dante stuff to her. That's another thing too. I had a dream during that weekend that Dante had faked his death. It felt so real. Like, he had faked his death, and he was like, oh, I just wanted to see how you was gonna react and how everybody was gonna react, because everybody didn't act like they cared about me. And I was so, like, livid in that dream. Like, I just remember being pissed off and was like, you can't come back from this. Like, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you after this. Like, you know, like, that was such a dick move. Like, why would you do that? And it was just like, it was just weird. And then I woke up, and then I realized, like, I wasn't, like, since he's been dead, like, I haven't been having, you know how, like, people be like, you be in denial that he's dead. I haven't had this denial that he's dead, because I think I felt it when he died. I think I did, like, feel it. I feel like we was definitely tied together. Like, I could tell when something was wrong with him, and it didn't matter. It was even after I left, like, things, I was tied to him emotionally. But so I didn't have a whole bunch of, like, denial that he was dead. It was kind of like, it was like I know. I could feel it. I could feel his energy on me. I could feel him on me, his presence. I felt like even when I tried to not feel that shit, like, a random person will pop up. I had some freaky, not freaky, because I'm tired of calling it that shit. Like, I had some I would say connected experiences happen to me. Like, I mean, it was 3:00 in the morning, and something telling me, like, get up, go to Wawa. Get up, go to Wawa, and get, you know, a little snack, something to drink. And I meet a couple, and, you know, we talking, and they know things that they should not know about me. I felt the type of way towards my dog. Like, they confirmed without me saying anything that I felt about my dog. That's why I know my abilities are real, because I just kept seeing, I've continued to have instances where I meet intuitive people and mediums and all that stuff, and it just be confirmation, like, you know, your reality is real. And getting to that on Mother's Day, because I'm going to talk about questioning your reality. My father reached out. My father is blocked. I had a conversation with my father. I faced my father over the phone, and told him, you know, like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Thank you for giving me life. However, this ship, you know, has sailed. May God have mercy on your soul, you know, but don't contact me anymore at all. So he had been following that, and he surprisingly had been following it, which almost made me question his dementia diagnosis, because it was like he didn't forget. And so Mother's Day, though, like, out of all days, you decide you want to call me and ruin my fucking day. He's blocked, but on my phone, for some reason, block callers, it doesn't ring my phone, but it'll show up in my call log. So he not only called once, he called twice. Then he also did, like, that voicemail thing where you can text the person to call your number. And I don't know, that definitely triggered me. That triggered the shit out of me. Like, I felt immense anger, violence, like I wanted to do some harm to him. Just from him reaching out, like, bitch, leave me alone. You're sick. I don't care if you have dementia. Like, the person you were before the dementia, like, you're actually a better person before you had the dementia. But just leave me alone. Just, you've caused me enough hell on this earth, from the sexual abuse, from the inconsistency as a father, from the sexual abuse. Like, let me repeat that. Like, just causing debt by the time I was 16, I was in debt. By using my name. Just, he's done a whole bunch of foul, fucked up shit. And it was just always this repeated cycle of he would do foul and fucked up shit and I wouldn't talk to him. So maybe that's what he was thinking, that maybe like he could just come in and I would still talk to him. Like, but no, fuck you. Don't call me no more. Then to top it all off, he got his sister to call me, which my grandma, her name is still on the phone, ironically, but she's dead, and it kind of like spooked me a little bit. I was like, what's she doing calling? But then I forgot that that was probably most likely my aunt. And so it was weird to me though, because she hadn't reached out and called this whole time. So it's like, you know, you call a day after he's been calling me. Like, you didn't even call on Mother's Day, you called the day after he's been attempting to contact me. And she's continued to call on and off, and it's like, I feel, and I'm gonna go based on what I feel from past history, because this isn't the first time that he's used his sisters as an extension of him, which, if you research narcissistic people, when people are narcissists and they can't, you know, no longer get to you themselves, they will use their flying monkeys. If you think about the Wizard of Oz, how the witch had the flying monkeys, but yes, they'll send their flying monkeys after you. And I'm not quite sure if she knows what's going on, but I really don't care. Like, still don't be his puppet. So I don't know if your family on his side, like, and you feel called to, tell that man leave me the fuck alone. For I had to pray to God. So, and I ain't praying for sympathy. I'm not praying for forgiveness. So I'm gonna do a Psalms prayer on his ass. I just want him to leave me alone. That's all I ask for. But it also allowed me to know, like, I'm still healing, which is not like a bad thing, but it's like, I want to get to a point where, like, I'm unbothered by him or anybody else. I don't, but I'm human, so I'm keeping that in mind, but I don't want to allow nobody to get me to the space that he got me to, like, because I was thinking about, like, you know, I Pac be like, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Like, revenge is like the sweetest joy, and blah, blah, blah. And so, like, I just really, really, really want him to stay away from me. I want him to just leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. You've done enough damage. You've caused enough pain. You've caused enough rebuilding. Just abusive and traumatic experiences after traumatic experiences with him. So, and I almost feel like you ruined all your kids, all of them. So then there's feel like there's another one out there from conversation we had at my grandma's funeral with somebody in the family. So yeah, just a sad situation on that end, but that activated for me. I don't know, this video about to stop, but that was Mother's Day weekend. I didn't text anybody, so if you text me, don't take it personal. I just didn't feel like it. But all right.